Earlier this year, the James Webb Space Telescope discovered the planet LHS 475b, which is 40 light years away from our planet. Studies show that it has similar features like Earth that could habit life. They thought it would be a good place for life, but the temperature is over 300 degrees Celsius. They figured it would be too hot for life, but NASA researchers at Agnostic Biosignatures believe it's not the temperature that is keeping us from living there, but our knowledge on extraterrestrial life on other planets. What if those organisms are a rare exception to the world, and space is actually teeming with entire civilizations with organisms that are very different from our own? During this video, you will learn what life forms can habit almost the entirety of space, why we should fear bubbles of soap, and which planet life is 1 million times faster than our current one. Is it possible for a civilization to live in something thought to be completely lifeless, like a stone or rock? American scientists have spent years researching planets in their so-called habitable zones, where water will not freeze or evaporate. That is where our research is narrowed down, because this is the fact a unique part of life. Because our atoms are carbon quadrivalent, they are able to form 4 bonds at once, even with each other. Think of people holding each other's hand, and they have 4 hands instead of 2. Because of that, they will be able to hold those from the left, right, but also from the front and back. That is the basics of how carbon works, right? It can form long molecular chains with the basis of DNA molecules. If you were to uncoil a DNA molecule, it would be 2 meters long. One DNA molecule is so much taller than most people. The total cells within an individual wall will stretch 20 billion kilometers. It's been a belief that complex life had no other choice but to use carbon molecules. It turned out there is more than one such element in the periodic table. These are called diatoms, unicell organisms, living in aquatic environments. Diatom is the only known terrestrial creature whose cell wall isn't composed of carbon but silicon. Back in 1981, a German astrophysicist, Julius Schneider, suggested within special conditions, silicon could also serve as a basis for life, just like carbon. The question stands, what would something like this look like? In Earth-like conditions, we can really only expect silicon mushrooms similar to ordinary rocks. Only problem is they would ice-fight in no time. Since carbon dioxide is a gas at normal temperature, what would happen if we changed the conditions and in an oxygen-free environment? The silicon would feel great. A man by the name of Max Bernstein at the NASA headquarters in Washington, D.C. has a belief that extraterrestrial silicon-based life could look like a network of intelligent crystals. He thought such minerals would be able to store and send information without the help of DNA molecules. It's similar to the birth of a new organism, but even if such crystals managed to develop intelligence, it would take them thousands of years. This is an exoplanet known as Kelp 9b or Kelp-9b. It lies at a distance of 650 light years away from Earth, and its surface temperature reaches over 4,300 degrees Celsius. This temperature is greater than that of many stars. For obvious reasons, scientists didn't even try to find life forms on it, but maybe they should though. After all, the melting temperature of silicon is 1,410 degrees Celsius. If carbon structures are bound to burn in such conditions, silicon will only become liquid. That's going to help silicon-based creatures develop extremely fast. It seems that exoplanets, which scientists previously considered branches of the underworld, could, on the contrary, become a cradle for the cosmic life. That would be very common because the universe has at least 30 times more hot worlds than ones like Earth, which has been proven multiple times. Only icy worlds are more numerous. If these theories are correct, these aliens could kill us with their breath. In our search for alternative chemistry, not only the basic element carbon could be replaced with silicon, but also water as a solvent. But could another substance handle its role? This exoplanet, OGLE-2005, Inhabit-BLG-390L-B has recently become a record holder. Here's why. Because scientists recorded its surface temperature at below minus 220 degrees Celsius. So far, this is the coldest space body we know of. Like many other extremely cold exoplanets, it's covered in methane. If you know anything about methane, you know it's not habitable. Unlike water, which would instantly freeze under such conditions, methane remains liquid at temps down to minus 180 degrees Celsius. The concept of cryogenic life based on a methane solvent was described by the famous astronomer Carl Sagan and his colleague Edwin Saltpeter back in 1976. But only recently have these ideas received more serious scientific confirmation because back then no one cared. In 2015, a researcher team led by Pollock Clancy, a chemical engineer at Johns Hopkins University, calculated that the base for living cell could possibly emerge in a methane environment. On Earth, cells have a flexible and elastic outer membrane made out of two layers of phosphate called phosphate bilayer. It separates the interlayer fluids from the outside world. Scientists now speculate that inside of lipids, cellular membranes, could be made with acrotrin, which is a chemical compound found in cold methane. These are known to exist in atmospheres of ultra-cold exoplanets. These molecules will ensure vital activity of methane organisms because ultra-cold planets and methane organisms in these ultra-cold planets and atmospheres stay alive longer. The most interesting part is that such cells could unite into spherical colonies. It follows that, in fact, astronauts should be afraid of non-transparent balls filled with strange glue-like substance, because that glue-like substance could possibly be methane. Irish physicist and chemist John Brunel believed that such a life form had long thrived in space and maybe even closer than we'd think. Saturn's moon Titan has long been a mystery of astronomers. This celestial body is consistently shrouded with a thick layer of impermeable orange fog. And only in 2005, NASA's spacecraft dropped its partner by the name of Huygens probe on Titan's surface. The images it captured stirred the scientific community. Lakes, rivers, and liquid methane were discovered on Titan, meaning Titan could have extraterrestrial organisms and or other beings that live purely based off of methane. Furthermore, despite it having extremely low temperatures, there is volcanic activity that contains below the surface. We can see signs of cryovolcanic activity there due to it not being hot magma that arrives at its surface, instead ammonia and methane, because the volcanic eruptions on Titan that go on below its surface are not actually magma. They're more so liquid methane and ammonia, and it's a thick layer of smog formed around Titan just because of this phenomenon. What if something alive is already beneath it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more stuff like this.